Hey, hello everyone, how are you all today? So, in the last class, we were able to complete the objectives of teaching as well as the basic requirements of teaching. So, this is what we have done so far. In today's video, we will be focusing on different levels of teaching. So, in the past class or in the past video, if you have seen, I had put a question like, are these three the levels of teaching, or do we have one more different level of teaching? So that was the question asked. Now I did not get a response till now. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you like what is the next level of teaching which you might be unaware of. So we have different levels of teaching. These are the three different levels of teaching. So the first one is the memory level, this one. The second one is the understanding level, and the third one is the reflective level. If I am able to picturize this for you in a, you can say, image format, okay, give me 1 second, let this whiteboard load, then I'll show you how these levels are stacked up one by one and how these three levels are related to this. Apart from these three levels, we have one more level which is called as autonomous level. So let me make a diagram here, everyone, and just focus here. So it's a triangular shape basically. Okay, now if you have seen, this is a triangle shape. In the base of the triangle, we have a level that is also known as autonomous. This is the first level. After that, the next level would be called as the memory level. The next level would be called as the understanding level. And the last one, the topmost, is known as reflective level. Now, if you focus here, a student will go step by step. So this would be the first level. Then after the first level, we'll be trying to achieve the second level. After achieving the second level, we'll move forward with the third one and then the fourth one. If I talk about the basic levels, the original levels, then these three are the basic level. Then one more was added. This is the one added level in levels of teaching. Okay, so this is the you can say pictorial representation of levels of teaching. The base is the autonomous level, then we have understanding level, then we have memory level. Upon that, we have understanding level, and the final level, the topmost level, is the reflective level. Let us understand one by one in detail. Autonomous level was first asked during 2021 examinations. Before that, autonomous level was not much asked, or not much you can say was as a part of your syllabus. But right now in 2021-22 and coming examinations, they're asking about what is autonomous level teaching. So if I talk about autonomous, we have studied this in the characteristics of teaching. Just let me go through this. Okay, so in this, if you see, these are the characteristics of teaching which we have done. That was, I think, the fourth video of this series. Okay, in the fourth video, we were discussing the characteristics of teaching. So here, if you see, we have high degree of autonomy. This is autonomy. This means freedom. We have understood this in that particular video. If you haven't gone through the details of this video, or if you haven't completed this entire series, I request you to go back and start from basics so that you don't have any issues or any problems or any confusion. Now, if I focus on this particular thing called autonomous, autonomous here means which provides with freedom, independence. So this is the basic level, or this is the starting level of any student, any learner. How this level works, let me give you an example. Suppose if there is a child, okay, and for any reason the child is missing, or the child is in jungle alone with all the wolves and wild animals, etc. The child, even though is not able to communicate, even though is not able to understand, but only because of the observation of environment around him or her, he'll be able to grab things, he'll be able to understand things. If you have seen Mowgli, all the people who do not know Mowgli or Jungle Book, please go through that. Jungle Book is a story. Also, it was made in a series. It was made in the animated series and then a movie. Jungle Book is a story where a small child, you can say, he gets lost in a forest, and then the wild animals, they parent that particular child, and he grows out to be looking like, you can say, or acting like a wolf. He usually is with a pack of wolves, so he adapted himself along with the pack of wolves, and he basically lives a life just like wolf, like hunting, you can say, going above the mountains, crossing the rivers and everything. So here, if I simple take the example of Jungle Book, why Jungle Book here is so important for this particular autonomous, because that is a classic example. If I can think of one example for autonomous level, that would be the Jungle Book or the Mowgli. Fine. Here, even though Mowgli did not understand the language of wolves, he did not understand one word, he does not understand anything, but only based of observation, he was able to adapt himself. This is also known as a natural learning technique. This is usually the basic instinct of every individual. It might be any person, but any person could learn stuff by observing to the environment, by adapting to the situations, by adapting oneself according to the circumstances. So this is autonomous level. So what is autonomous level, everyone? This is very important. It is also known as natural learning, where a learner naturally learns something out of his survival instinct or his daily activities or his environment. Third, here the child is a natural learner and he observes the environment and adapts himself with the environment. So that is the first level, that is autonomous level. Now, if I leave the autonomous level, we still have 3 levels to go. That is memory level, understanding level, reflective level. There are various questions asked in this particular stream, and I would be discussing the questions at 10 p.m. every day. So if you are actually interested to solve the MCQs, you can come at 10 p.m. and I will be updating you with the list of topics or list of MCQs which we are going to do, so that you can come prepared. So today, I think this video will be uploaded day after tomorrow. I'm recording it priorly. So levels of teaching questions have been done by now, I could say that. So if you want to watch that playlist, or if you want to do MCQs, I would highly suggest you to come live at 10 p.m. every day, so that we can solve MCQs from basic to advanced. Okay. Now, let's go back to our topic. Our topic was different levels of teaching. So the first level is the autonomous level, which we have discussed so far. Now we have 3 different levels of teaching. Memory, understanding and reflective. Okay, to make this very easy, or very, you can say, in an understandable manner, just give me 1 second. I will be explaining you this thing. Now, suppose if I talk about a small child, a very small child, okay, now the child, when he enters or enrolls into the school, he doesn't know anything. He does know very few things, very few basic things. So what do you do with that child? You give him a slate, okay, and then you ask him to write A, the big one A, and the small one A. Then you might ask him to write big B and the small b. Now try to understand what is this child doing. The child is trying to remember. Remember whatever it is given to him. So he will be remembering A to Z in small letters, then A to Z in big letters, 1 to 1000, you can say the counting. Okay, he is cramming means he is not able to understand, but he is able to remember. So here, this is the first level or first layer of any teaching. Because a child does not know A to Z, he might not know how to use words or how to combine the letters to make a particular word. What is the meaning of word? So here at the memory level, the child tries to cram things, remember things, memorize things. The perfect example could be memorizing A to Z small, A to Z big, 1 to 1000. And if there is a language class like Hindi or any other, so A से G तक हम बच्चे को सिखाते हैं. ठीक है. This is the first one, that is called the memory level. Now, if the child has acquired this memory level, he has completed this memory level. So that is not the basic objective of education. We need to move forward with this, right? So how are we going to move forward with the understanding level? Now, the child has become a bit of a teenager, we could say. He has more kind of logic, he is able to understand stuff, and the child is now more mature, we can say. Now, because he is a teenager or he is in his or her teen years, now we will not expect him to remember or cram stuff. We will make him understand. Make logic out of things. Mastery a subject. Understand principles, concepts, and cause and effect relationship. So this is what we expect in the understanding level teaching, where we try to make the student understand all these topics and help them to master their content. This could be usually till your 10th examinations or 12th examinations, where you try to make the student understand the concepts, understand the subject, understand the principles and everything. And once this is achieved, the target or the objective of teaching is still not complete. Why? Now the last layer, where the child has become a full adult person. The child has become what? A full adult person, and he has started working. He has even started, you can say, solving problems on his own. So this would be, you can say, an adult learner. And this adult learner will be able to solve problems, formulate solutions, and identify problems. So these are the main characteristics of adult learner. Adult learner means the reflective level teaching, where the student is mature enough. The student has gone through all the layers. Like only once a student has completed the memory level, because this is the memory level. 1 second, everyone. This is the understanding level. And the last one is the reflective level. Okay. Now, if you focus here, if you completely focus here, you will realize that only after completing the memory level you can move towards understanding level. So this would be your first objective. And after understanding level, after completing the understanding level, the child can go to the reflective level. So it is a step by step process. It is not something you can jump directly from memory to reflective, or you can go from reflective to memory. No, first is the memory level, then is the understanding level, then is the reflective level. And make sure you draw the exact diagram in your books so that you are able to remember all these things, because these are the keywords. Suppose there is any question related to teaching aptitude, specifically levels, they will be focusing on keywords. There will be questions from keywords and you need to identify those words. So in a question, if there are more references of remembering, cramming, memorization or rote learning, they are talking about memory level. But if there are more words, or in a question more words are used, like understanding a subject, mastery of a subject, logical reasoning, cause and effect, understanding the concepts, application of the concepts, it is most likely to discuss, it is most likely that the question is discussing about understanding level. And if I talk about the reflective level, the words they are going to use is solving a problem, identifying a problem, independent learner, formulate solutions, all that. So here, this is how you're going to differentiate between memory level, understanding level and reflective level. And you need to still remember there is also an autonomous level, which shows that it is natural learning, where a child is observing the environment and trying to figure out. So this is the 3 levels which I wanted to talk about it today. Now, if you just see this particular slide, you'll be able to understand, like, memory level is memorizing the alphabets and numbers, understanding is formation of sentences and essay, reflective level is problem solving. The first one, memory level. What you need to remember in the memory level, all the keywords I told you, the sequence, as well as the author. The main author of memory level was Herbert. Herbert sir was the main prominent of this level. First important point. This is the initial stage. Initial means the starting stage. If you don't know any words and I'm just writing out the word, make sure you write it down in your book so that you don't have any confusion, and try to remember those words. So initial means the starting stage. It is the starting stage of teaching. It includes the basic learning process like memorizing the alphabets, memorizing the numbers, etc. The next one would be the understanding level teaching. Understanding level teaching, Morrison is the main prominent. He is the author who contributed most to this particular level. Memory level teaching is the prerequisite of understanding level teaching. So before completing the understanding level teaching, you have to complete the memory level teaching, or else you cannot directly jump to understanding. It focuses on understanding a particular subject, formation of sentences, proper grammar usage, logic, understanding of concepts, understanding of principles, etc. So these are the main keywords here. The last one is the reflective level. Hunt was the main prominent. The author Hunt has contributed most in the reflective level. This is the highest level of teaching, as you can say, because it includes and it considers both the memory as well as the understanding. It is also known as a problem-centered teaching. So these are the 3 basic layers or levels which you need to know. Now, let me give you one more important thing. These are the list which you need to remember. Very important. I'm just highlighting the keywords which I have told you already here. So if you see, here we have memorizing, cramming, remembering, all that. In understanding, we have logic, mastery of the subject, principles, concepts, cause and effect. So these are the important points of memory level teaching, and you will be able to find those keywords here. So these are the extra points which will help you to find the right answer in the examination. Memory level teaching emphasis on presentation of fact information, that is all about cramming. Cramming here means remembering. Second one, knowledge or information is gained learner through memorization. It is initial stage मतलब the starting stage of any teaching learning process, and includes the habit of rote learning, remembering, cramming. It provides students with the ability to retain and reproduce, means to retain the facts, to retain the information given to the students, and they they should be able to reproduce the same results. They should be able to recall everything they have learned so far, or they have, you can say, read so far. It covers only knowledge based objectives in the Bloom taxonomy. So when we are going to study Bloom taxonomy, there are 6 layers. The first and the foremost is knowledge, and it covers only the knowledge part. The teacher plays a very dominant role. Yes, why dominating role? Because here the student does not know anything. So the teacher has to play a dominant role, because the teacher has to decide what is to be taught in the class, what are the resources to be used, how teaching will be taking place, how the entire procedure will take place, only because the teacher knows everything. The student is so small, or so, you can say, young, that the student doesn't know anything. The student doesn't know how to tackle a particular subject. So here teacher plays a very dominant role, where teacher decides everything: the content, the topics, the books, the way of teaching, and everything. Whereas the student has a secondary role. So if I talk about the primary role, the teacher holds the primary role, and the secondary role is held by the student. The evaluation system includes oral, written, and essay type. The role of teacher is very prominent, or dominant, or primary, and the student's role is secondary. Memory learned teaching does not improve intelligence or increases students' capability, but it is required for the other types of learning. So I have highlighted all those keywords which summarizes this particular page. Now, if you have understood the memory level, we can go towards the understanding level. Now, if I talk about understanding level, memory level is the prerequisite. So if you have not completed memory level, you will not be able to understand the understanding level. Second, it helps to build the thinking level. Here actual intelligence is taking place. The thinking, the logical reasoning capacity of the individual has to improve. The teacher explains the students about the relationship. The student tries to understand the concepts, principles, theories, relationships. It focuses on mastery of the subjects. It includes memory plus insight. So if I talk about memory, it is only memory, but in understanding it is memory plus insight. The evaluation of this is based on objective or essay type, we could say. The student and teacher both play an active role. Though teacher is still, you can say, in the authority, the teacher will decide everything, but the student and the learner both will play an equal role, because when the teacher is teaching, here the student is understanding, and the student is able to decide, the student is able to choose, the student is able to make logic. So here these are the keywords which I have highlighted. Now if I talk about reflective level, it includes understanding and memory both. The main objective is to develop problem solving, identifying of problem, all these capacities. It is very critical, constructive. It is a top level thing. At this level, emphasis is laid on identifying the problem, defining the problem, finding the solutions to the problem. Here the core, the primary, the active role is of a student. So the student plays here the active role for this exam, for this reflective level. I could give you a perfect example like the PhD. A PhD aspirant decides himself, like what is my topic, what is my literature study. Majority of the decisions are taken by the student alone. The teacher only acts as a guiding person who helps them in their journey or in their path. So these were the 3 levels which you need to remember. All the highlighted things here, please note it down in your books separately, so that you understand that these are the keywords and you cannot go wrong if you know or if you remember all the keywords. Okay, so in the next lecture we will be moving forward, and we would be focusing on process of teaching and other topics. So let's meet in the next lecture. Bye everyone, take good care of yourself, study hard.